Q Crew, what's going on? I'm your host, Suave Q, aka the Q Pill, and you guys are tuned in for another dose of Q Pill, where I give you guys doses of repugnant realities, moronic fuckery, and political incorrectness that the cancerous postmodernist woke left are always trying to cancel. And I have an overdose of moronic fuckery in this segment because there's an OnlyFans model out here complaining that her dating life is quote unquote ruined because men see her as an OnlyFans model who just wants sex, which is what she is. But before I get into it, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, share this content with your family, your friends, your colleagues, your peers. Let them get a dose of the Q Pill as well. Let's get a dose of this shit. Now, I always say women lack accountability, and it is indeed true that they do. And one of the ways in which they really exhibit this is when it comes to them making decisions that have detrimental consequences long term, and they don't gauge them, and they think the world is supposed to adjust. The world is supposed to realize that they were young and dumb, that they made mistakes, and the world is supposed to forgive and forget, accept them as they are, with the reduced integrity and the reduced virtue and the reduced value that they now have as whether potential mates, friends, whatever the case may be. Women, when they make decisions based on what they want there and now, they fail to gauge how this can come back to bite them in the ass. And women who engage in this female empowerment, sexual liberation, feminism bullshit are a prime example of this. I want you guys to take a look at this article, as this OnlyFans model claims that men don't want to actually get to know her. They see her as sex and can't seem to wait for what she's about to tell you she actually tries to make them wait for when she dates men.
A British OnlyFans model claims that being on the site has ruined her dating life as men presume she is easy. I love what I do, but the success has come at a price. It's ruined my dating life, Fenella Fox from Worcester told NewPR.com. Fox has 118,000 followers on Instagram and tons on OnlyFans, and she makes $200,000 a year off site, according to Jam Press. The 28-year-old says she has a strict rule of not having sex until the third date, but most men she goes out with seem impatient to get to the bedroom. I would love to have sex. In fact, I'm desperate for it, but I've been pretty much celibate for 5 years because men just can't seem to wait until the third date. They just assume I'm up for it straight away because of my job. Fox revealed that she doesn't tell men about her rule because she would like to see how they act without knowing it. I wonder if I'm more of a trophy fuck in their minds, and when that trophy isn't as easy to get as they thought, they give up, she said. Fox noted one instance when she and a date went back to her apartment, and when he was told that they would not be having sex, the man got up and left. He looked me straight in my eyes and said, "I'm not attracted to you anymore," she recalled. Fox, who has also tried dating apps, said the pressure from society to find the one is also taxing. There is so much pressure for women to find the one, or men just assume that because we're nearing 30, we want marriage and kids, but I would just love to have great sex, Fox told Jam Press. But I don't like one-night stands. Men don't seem to have the patience to get to know me.
Now, there is so much hypocrisy, contradictions, and irrationality here to dissect. Do y'all understand that we're talking about an OnlyFans model who claims, who overtly states that she just wants great sex, implying that she wants sex but not actually a romantic connection or a long-term commitment, but doesn't do one-night stands? First is first. What type of man will wait 3 dates to go out with an OnlyFans model? A woman who objectifies herself, who presents herself as a copulatory sperm rag with the sole purpose of her existence being to get plunged and inseminated and filled up by random men for money and entertainment. Now, it does say she was celibate for 5 years, so she has been celibate for 5 years. I don't know what that means, because if she's making $200,000 from OnlyFans, then I think she's doing a little bit more than showing panties and flirting. I don't know. I can't confirm. I'm not one of her OnlyFans, which is another stupid concept, because I don't really believe that men can be fans of women. You have men who want to fuck women, and once they fuck them, they're no longer fans. They've conquered that woman, and that woman involuntarily becomes that man's fan, especially if he puts it on her the way that he's supposed to. But that's a different topic. But this is the type of delusion and entitlement that feminism, the sexual liberation movement, and female empowerment has created. women who believe that they're still entitled to being courted even when they don't present themselves as an individual worthy of being courted. These men see her as a sex object because she herself sees herself as a sex object. She states, I just want great sex, but men don't want to wait. They don't want to get to know me. What the fuck is a man supposed to get to know you for? What is there to get to know about you? The only thing I need to know, if I have no intentions of committing to you and I just want to get my nut and go, is if you have an STI. I just need to know if you have an STI, and I need to know the time and place that you down to fuck. That's it. I don't care about your name. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what your interests are. I don't care what your personality is like, because we've already established that your role is to simply be my source of sexual satisfaction, which I need right now, like the man who turned around and said, I'm no longer attracted to you because we're not having sex, which is what I came here for. That's what the goal is. And she's completely blind to this reality, which is very, very weird, because women will do this. They play victim when they make choices that have consequences that they don't like. It's the funniest shit in the world. It's crazy how they just victimize themselves. They take no accountability for how they ended up in the situations that they've ended up in. And then she tries to place value on herself, saying that she don't understand if she's a trophy fuck or not. There's no such thing as a trophy OnlyFans whore. There just isn't. What it is the guy wants sex, and when he finds out he has to work for something that he should be getting free, because this is what you do on a daily basis, this is how you make your money, this is how you earn your living, this is something that you take pride in doing. When he finds out he has to work for what you're doing on a website for free for the entertainment of other people, I mean, even though they pay for their subscriptions or whatever, when he finds out he has to work for that, you're not worth the work. You're not worth the time. You're not worth the effort. You're not worth the resources. And it's already bad enough that she has men who are willing to take her on a date to begin with. I would never in my life take an OnlyFans thought on a date. No quality man with options would resort to such low-level behavior. Nothing screams I don't have options like a man like resorting to an OnlyFans model and actually taking her out and courting her and trying to get to know her. And I'll tell you my issue with the sexual liberation movement, and this speaks to her. This woman says she just wants sex. She wants great sex, but she wants a man to try to get to know her. The issue I have with that is the fact that we push these women to do whatever they want with their bodies. Their body, their choice. But then we see them complain and do shit like this. It's already difficult enough for women to find who they're attracted to and lay down with and form an emotional connection with. And this is why I say I believe that feminists or women who believe that they should be able to sleep with whoever they want, whenever they want, I seriously think they're cognitively impaired. I believe that they need some serious cognitive reconfiguration in their mate selectivity modules, and it should be recalibrated. Because I believe you have to be an idiot to risk putting yourself out there time and time again trying to obtain something such as an orgasm that you are highly unlikely to get. On top of that, if you are indeed a nut rag for most men and they see you as such, then they're going to utilize you just for that. And if they're going to utilize you as a copulatory sperm rag, then I very highly doubt that they're really obsessed with making sure that you get yours. I don't think that's first on their priority list. I think their main concern is them getting theirs, in which they're likely going to get theirs. So if a man is likely going to get his, he's going to get his, be concerned about getting his, and be out and leave you standing there stuck. Meanwhile, you've just increased your exposure and likelihood of contracting an STI, an unwanted pregnancy, and emotional damage, like we're seeing being exhibited in this article, which is an example of emotional damage because she's complaining about the fact that her dating life is ruined, and that fucks her up. She's also conflicted, which is why she keeps saying she wants men to get to know her, because she knows she's a thought, and she knows that she's nothing more than an object of sex for male sexual gratification, and she wants to lessen that burden by rationalizing the fact that men should actually get to know her, because it'll make her feel like she's worth more than what she actually knows that she's worth. That makes sense. See, this is psychology. This is what's going on here. She knows that she's not worth nothing more than sex, anything more than sex. However, she wants men to get to know her because, for one, that familiarity on a woman's end breeds more attraction to the man, which is why women describe the best part about sex as being with a guy that they know and that they're emotionally attached to. They don't describe the physical as being primarily the best part. It's the emotional, which is why women are so selective as well, and which is why when women cheat, they tend to like the guy that they're actually cheating with because they have to have an emotional connection. So that baseline level of her femininity is still present in the fact that she still wants to feel like she's worth more than just sex by making men get to know her before they have it. But that's erroneous thinking on her behalf because she's lost that privilege. She gave that privilege up when she decided to become an OnlyFans model. And then she's telling on herself by sitting here saying most men think women who are nearing 30 want kids and a family. Well, ma'am, you actually probably do want kids in a family. That's why you're saying you don't want one night stands. That's why you're saying you want a guy to actually get to know you. That's why you have a 3-date prerequisite before you give it up. Because she's trying to inch her way into some form of security and commitment, and she's telling on herself, she's projecting. Because the evolutionary psychological literature actually shows that the number one reason women engage in short-term mating interactions is for long-term investment. See, women will pretend like they're down to have sex, but what they really want is something more. And they'll have sex with the hopes that it'll turn into something more, which is why she says she doesn't do one-night stands. That means I want multiple sexual encounters with a guy. And what does multiple sexual encounters typically turn into? Her catching feelings and wanting commitment, wanting a relationship. This woman is a walking contradiction. And then the fact that she also talks about the one. There's pressure to find the one. Well, ma'am, if you just wanted sex, you wouldn't feel that pressure now, would you? There would be no pressure on you, so it wouldn't matter if society said you should be trying to find the one. You only want great sex. So why does it even matter what society says about you trying to find the one? Unless she's again projecting, telling herself that because she's getting up there in age, because she's 28 years old, her sexual market value is slowly reducing, is slowly decreasing because she's getting up there in age, and it's time for her to about start hitting that wall and looking for an out. That's what you're seeing exhibited in this. This is why this is even a whole ordeal to begin with. Because a woman who just wanted great sex would just go out and have sex. She'd find a man that she's sexually attracted to, and that would be enough for her to have sex. Especially a woman who does OnlyFans for a living. Just a classic example of a woman not weighing the negative consequences, the repercussions of her actions, not being able to properly gauge them, and then thinking something is wrong with everyone else because they don't see it the way that she does. And there's millions of women like this. This is the average feminist mindset. In the name of sexual liberation, feminism, female empowerment, this is why they're so unhappy. They're trying to move in ways they're not built to move, while still trying to maintain the level of femininity and feminine essence that they know men are actually attracted to. But they reduce that greatly when they engage in things like stripping, OnlyFans, becoming porn actresses. All of this stuff obstructs their ability to be able to form long-term romantic commitments with men. And they don't like it. They can't help it. They're still victims. I would say to any woman, if this is something that you're dealing with, the first thing is first, don't objectify yourself. Don't get an OnlyFans. Don't become a stripper. I don't care how hard you believe it is. If you maintain a certain level of femininity, you maintain a certain level of class and respectability, and you keep yourself fit, you keep yourself looking good, oh, you'll be able to find a long-term companion, and you won't be talking about, he doesn't want to go out on 3 dates. He just sees me as sex. You won't be worried about that. Because a woman who carries herself as more than sex, a woman who has more substance than the physical, who knows herself deeper than the physical, she'll be able to attract deeper than the physical. Because that type of man will know that he can't approach her on the shallow bullshit. He may be able to sexually arouse her, but he knows that he has to offer more because she's more. These women know that they're nothing more than sex. That's why they engage in these type of behaviors. That's why they live this fast life of chasing money by using their anatomical features, because they know that that's all they have to offer. Nothing more. There's no more depth to them. There's no more substance to them. And a lot of times you can tell when you have conversations with them. They're ditzy as fuck. This is the reality of it. That's a dose of the Q pill that they don't want to acknowledge. They don't want to accept. And that's why they can't adapt. I tell you, ladies, many of you ladies, you OnlyFans models, you strippers, you porn stars, y'all learn the hard way. And they keep coming out. They keep proving us right because they keep having these articles, these podcast interviews, these videos, these blogs, to where they're actually acknowledging how unhappy they are with their dating life because of the decisions that they made in their youth when they were beautiful and they could attract a lot of men, and now men don't want to settle down with them because of their sexual history and their past activities on the internet. That's what you get. Part of being a responsible adult is acknowledging when shit is your fault. Some people are just out of luck. And a lot of these women will be out of luck. That's a Q pill for your ass. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next dosage. I'm Suave Q. Over and out.